wrong,
yes,
and we've detected the first ones in 2016,
yes,
right?
yes,
Which was a proof of Einstein's relativity
yes.
theory, and and so how do you exactly, when you say you study them through sound? Because sound, often we say there is no sound in space because sound needs a medium, right,
Yes.
to go through. So that's why we have sound in on Earth because there is an atmosphere, but in space it's void.
Exactly, there is no sound.
So how do you
So,
listen to
so
gravitational waves?
it's a very, very, very good question. The disturbances travel to us. For example, gravitational waves may be passing through your body right now. If you feel a little jiggling, it may be a gravitational wave. I'm joking. They may pass through your body right now. But we acquire the measurements, the potential differences. And then that is a number. And we translate that number into an audio frequency. And of course, the numbers in astronomy and gravitational astronomy, astrophysics, high energy particle astrophysics, the numbers may be astronomically big or astronomically small. So we take those numbers and we feed them computationally into a floating variable. We fit it inside the range from 0 to 1, and then we divide between 0 and 1. You can find an infinite number of spaces, an infinite number of chunks that you can count. We fit the data there, and then that brings it into the audible domain, and then you can listen to it. As you listen to this afternoon, we will have a concert. As you listen to, I don't know, to a song, but it's not music, it's sound. And people, they say that it is ugly because it doesn't have any harmonic expectation. But to me, it's actually beautiful because it's giving me information. It's opening a world that at some point it was closing down. So it just brought a lot of possibilities. And because I know how to study it, right? Then I get a lot of information and a lot of insight from it. Forgive me.
So this process that you're describing, I believe is called sonification, right? To
Yes.
turn another kind of wave, like light or
Yes.
gravitational waves in your case, into a sound wave,
Yes.
and we be able to listen to it. So you've said numerous times that you feel that hearing this type of data can actually be better than seeing it.
Yes, indeed.
Do you have a precise example of
Well,
what
I
changes?
will tell you that the cosmic background radiation, and they won a Nobel Prize, I think. The guys, I don't remember their name, so please don't put this on YouTube or anything because I don't remember their names. They won a Nobel Prize, and it was by listening to the information. Also, the galactic background was discovered using audio. Also, quasi-periodic or periods that appear and disappear in data that are very important to determine the exchange of energy between two systems that are rotating around each other, right? It's not rotating. It's not like they rotate around each other. They move through a common center, through a body center or variable stars. Also, to detect those quasi-periodic oscillations is very, very, very good. I have had students that have heard even dark matter in cosmic ray data. I will not talk about that because it's their research and I respect it. But even better is that by doing this, even nurses are transporting the techniques in order to, for example, monitor the energy of caring. Or kids with autism to teach them prosody. So what we do in the natural sciences is being transported into other fields of sciences, also micromotions, right? At the University of Rogers, my friend Elizabeth Torres has allowed us to use micromotions and movement. And with those micromotions and movements, we are doing diagnosis to kids that are inside the autism spectrum. And we don't wait until they are 3 or 4 years old. We can do it from birth. by using micromotions, we can do an early micromotions and sound and early diagnosis. And this is the work of Elizabeth, right? That she has allowed us to participate in that work with audio. But what we are saying is that when you use audio, you have more sensitivities and also other dimensions. It's multi-dimensional. So it supports for you to be able to study beyond what is visible to the human eye.
It's just we're never trained to use anything than our eyes, especially in science. You've mentioned something at the very beginning. You've talked about the cosmic microwave background.
Yes.
And I have to say, this is the image that got me into space when I was 15 years old. Okay. I had like the poster in my bedroom. And I'm very curious, what does it sound like?
The cosmic background.
Yeah? Can you tell me?
I can tell you what the galactic background sounds.
Okay, tells me what, that's fair enough. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay, espérate. This is, I need to get into the, the mood
Take your
of
time.
playing
Take your time.
the cosmic, the galactic background, not the cosmic background, galactic background. Like that. The cosmic background, I have to get into the mood because I do it with harps and I cannot go that high.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
But give me 2 seconds and I will imitate it.
Okay.
Yes. Forgive me.
No problem. Take the time you need.
We can go to the next question while I get to the time.
Okay. You tell me then.
I know
no
you
problem.
want to hear my singing.
Yeah, at the end. We'll keep it to the end for a private concert. So we're talking about how we can turn, because some other people joined in the audience, so how we can turn data, astronomical data, to sound. Because we have an astrophysicist here who studies the universe through sound. And so is there a specific space phenomena that sounds the most interesting to you? Is there a specific...
Cosmic rays.
Cosmic rays.
Cosmic rays.
Can you explain?
Those sound... cosmic rays are the highest energy as classified for human being in the electromagnetic spectra. When there are explosions of stars like supernovas, they may emit cosmic rays. And we have a number of satellites that are monitoring cosmic rays. They are, like, for example, we had I forgot the name and I used it. We had a satellite.
Chandra?
No.
Oh, no,
Chandra does monitor cosmic rays, but we had a satellite that has already been decommissioned, who was always slewing towards the direction of incoming cosmic rays. Also, the Vela satellites were monitoring cosmic rays in order to monitor the possible testing of nuclear weapons on Earth. But that was many years ago. So the cosmic rays, what happens is that before the precursor of the cosmic rays, they are little resonances hidden in what we call the noise. And it's not noise, it's information. So perhaps culturally we have to redefine what we consider noise, or not to redefine what we consider noise, but perhaps consider that noise is not garbage, that is not clutter, that what we call noise may contain a lot of information that may be useful. So inside those, what my collaborator said, there is nothing there, it's only noise. We had little resonances determining, right, indicating earlier emissions happening before the precursor of the cosmic ray, and then the big burst of cosmic rays. And indicating, right, those resonances, possible elements that are formed. This is everyone, well, not everyone, but now, today, all of us know it, right? Elements that are vital for life formation that are formed during the explosion of stars. Yes, forgive me, I talk a lot.
No, but I mean, you transmit your passion, so it's a pleasure to hear your talk. And I mean, when we really see that you have this fire inside you for astrophysics, and you started your career as an astrophysicist, And then you lost your eyesight.
Yes, yes, indeed, indeed. I lost. Well, I did. I came to astrophysics because I lost my sight. I heard data. I heard audification. Audification is the direct translation of a data waveform to the audible domain. So we had this antenna, like Dr. Jansky. He worked at Bell Laboratories, and he used an antenna. And with this aerial, do we know what an aerial is? Yes? No? Okay.
I'm saying different
and-
faces.
Okay.
I think you can explain.
An aerial is an antenna that you put outside, like a rod. It has a conductor, and you put it outside, and it has ramifications, I guess, right? The ones that are outside regularly. So that is an aerial, so an antenna outside. He used a huge antenna, and he was studying interference. And studying interference, listening for interference in phone calls, trying to determine where this interference came from, what was the origin of this interference, he was able to identify that the disturbance he was listening was coming from the galactic background. So he heard this. And what I did is that I had a smaller antenna, and, well, not me, a friend of mine. And I was losing my sight. I was almost giving up. And he brought me to his house. And he had the sound, the audio playing. Like it did sound like white noise. Shh, shh. And then suddenly it went up, shh, very high. And I said, turn that off. That's horrible. And then with a lot of interference, right? And then he said, no, I'm not turning that off because I think that is the energy of a sunburst being detected by an antenna I have in my backyard. And at that moment, I had to walk with my friend Emilio, not because I wanted to walk with him. I apologize, Emilio. But because I needed to follow someone. He's my friend, but does that make sense? Instead of being in his house, I would have been in the library or doing something else. So the thing is that when I heard it, the sound completely changed. It became a sound of possibility. It became a sound of life, of let me research if I can do this. Then I learned that astrophysics, we were using audio by the end of the 1800s, and then we left it. We stopped using it. Not quite. Some people were using it, but only for education and people outreach. And then I researched why we stopped using it. And I couldn't find a reason. And that's why I did experiments. And after the experiments, when I evidenced, undoubtedly, that it helped, because I'm a scientist. If I don't have evidence, I will not do it. I'm a scientist. So once I evidence, okay, it helps. This is not a Wanda thing. It's not that I'm listening to things and then other people cannot do it, or other people cannot repeat or find the results I have found. When I evidenced it, then I began studying it further and using audio and sound to study other information. Did I answer your question? Because
yes, yeah, no. You completely answered my question. It actually fits perfectly to the next one, because now you're the director of an organization called Science in Braille.
Yes, yes,
So
indeed.
can you tell us, what is the campaign? Is this an advocacy to become, so that science can become multi-sensory in some sort, or?
That is beautiful. Thank you for the beautiful question. Science in Braille is an organization that has been established by Her Royal Highness Princess Dr. Nisrin El Hashemite. And she's from the last monarchy of Kuwait, if I'm not wrong. She's very good to me, so if I'm wrong, Her Royal Highness, forgive me. She renounced to her royal privileges in order to serve. And they established an organization called the Royal Academy of Science International Trust, and they were the ones that ratified in United Nations the International Day of Girls and Women in Science. And she noted, as a scientist, she's a geneticist, and she noted that even at United Nations, we didn't have the same leadership as other collaborators. And he noted that in science, peoples with disabilities, blind peoples, peoples on wheelchair, peoples with any disabilities, that we didn't have the leadership, the ingress, the retention, the progress, and the entrance into those fields. So she established Science in Braille, and perhaps no one else was around when she was searching for a director, and she said, you will direct it. Science in Braille is established so peoples with disabilities we can address the entrance, progress, and retention of peoples with disabilities in the STEM field, from changing the mindsets, targeting the stakeholders, because there is a trust the stakeholders do not have. And I'm not complaining, this is just what happens, right? They do not trust it because everything depends on what they think is possible versus what they think is impossible. So because we had no evidence of the superiority of audio as compared to the superiority of visual display as compared to audio, no evidence of that. We are working so we increase or we evidence the reliability of using audio to analyze the information. And we work from the professional field, from the stakeholders, the policymakers, to education and people outreach, because also teachers have to see that it works. Also teachers have to, when I say see, they have to perceive, they have to witness that if my students learn to listen to audio, what is going to happen with their lives later on, so they can progress in life. So those are the stages that we follow, and we see it happening from the science policy mechanism to then move science policy. So protocols are in place, know-hows, we protect the scientific economy, which is a scientific economy that depends on monosensorial methods, and giving them know-hows and helping them to progress or to recuperate and leave behind obsolescent practices. Then we enrich the field for everyone and we produce better science. Yes.
Congratulations, really congratulations. I feel this is an eye-opener, at least for me. I mean, I grew up in France and studied in Switzerland, and I feel along a lot of my scientific studies, we only used visual technology. Yes. But you've been around the world, I think Japan, South Africa. Do you think there is a cultural aspect in other parts of the world? Do we do science differently? Do we use more sound or audio?
Well, that's a very good question. And people receive it very well. The students, the citizens, they receive it very well. And we are citizens too. We are citizen scientists too. I'm a citizen of my country. I'm a citizen of the world, right? They receive it well too. Culturally, in the scientific culture, in places where the scientific culture is more conservative, is very, very, very difficult because of the reliability, right? As the scientific field stopped using audio, and the technologies didn't evolve, displays didn't evolve as well. The scientific culture, it takes them a little bit longer to come into terms to the fact that we are going to use audio to do the science, and then if I have time left, I will do education and people outreach, which is very, very, very important. But commonly, what they do is that they divert us. When I say divert us, is to people like me with disabilities, to only education and people outreach. So for them, it takes a little bit longer. It's not out of malice. It's just that it takes a little bit longer. And hey, if I would be in their position, I would say, well, what evidence? I've been using a visual display for 75 years behind a computer analyzing data. Believe me, there are scientists that have been 75 years behind a computer analyzing information. Why do you come and tell me that now using audio, my sensitivities can increase? So they need know-hows, they need more evidence. It's not all of them, right? Here in Luxembourg, people are very open to it. For example, Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm bringing you different regions of the world where they have brought audio to mainstream. And then by bringing audio to mainstream, they also impact education and people outreach simultaneously. Does that make sense? Not one over
The other, yes.
Yes.
Parallel.
So what I will say is that is the mind of the stakeholders. In some countries, it's a little bit harder because of the trust. In some countries, it's a little bit easier. And I think it's because they have had more exposition to diversity, right? It's a scientific culture that has more exposition to diversity, like Luxembourg. Yes, forgive me.
Yeah. So Wanda, yes, someone's telling me in my ear that we're already past the time. So you were worried that we wouldn't do for the 20 minutes, and here you go. Like, come on. I think, yeah, we can give a round of applause to Wanda because she was very nervous to come and tell her story, and what a story. Really, thank you for everything you're doing, and yes, thank you.
Apologies for taking long.
No, no apologies needed. Thank you, Wanda.
Thank you. Thank you.